Yeah, there we go. We should be up and running now. It should come up on my YouTube screen here a bit because I don't watch on my embedding stream because the delay is too much. Well, everybody, it is 1 a.m. where I'm at. I'm up because I had a long day, and well, I'm usually a late person anymore anyway. I've always have been, but worse lately. Um, Today got a little late. Got a lot of stuff to get done, and it's been weird anyway because, well, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this live stream. And I'm gonna do a lot of my stuff on this channel, kind of live and off the cuff, really. Right now, as you can see, I'm talking about how cystic fibrosis is one of the loneliest illnesses. Sorry, I have to adjust this. I don't know why it's acting screwy. Illnesses, I think, in the world. Most other illnesses, not all, but most other illnesses have support groups where the people with those illnesses can get together. And why did my camera get banged? They have support groups. They can get together, whether it's in person or, well, pretty much CF people. We aren't really allowed to do that anymore. We used to be able to. And I am sorry, but I somehow have dropped that puppy and got her off kilter. If we get near each other, we have cross-infection issues. Even in the hospital, the ones of they let us exercise together, we have to stay a certain distance from each other and not supposed to physically touch, which makes things rather interesting. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people get to go to the support groups, and there's so many different strains of the bacteria and infections in our lungs that there's so many of us that really physically can never be near each other. Even in those workout sessions when you're in the hospital, you have to be certain special areas. And it's like, wow. So, that's why all the CF camps and all the get-togethers that are inside have pretty much gone away. Cross-infection issues. So that makes CF a very lonely illness where most CF people, to get support from other CF people, pretty much have to chat on the internet. So thankfully, internet chat rooms and streaming has really, changed a lot, grown. So I don't know. And I'm not saying we're the only illness, but this is one of the biggest ones, I think, where people really can't go near each other, aren't even allowed to try. And sorry, I keep messing with something on my screen here because I did something wrong and I'm trying to correct it and I'm not doing a very good job. There we go. Still didn't do it right. Jeez Louise. This is what happens. You stay up too late. Now I've erased another number. But no, I mean, there are times I've seen people get down in the dumps pretty heavily because of the isolation. When we're in the hospital, you're stuck in that room, that pod, and anymore, I don't know how your center is, but most accredited CF care facilities, you have to wear the masks when you leave the room. If you leave them, they really prefer you don't anymore. A lot of places, for you spend almost all your time in that room. And honestly, since there is a lot of illnesses in the hospital, I do kind of avoid leaving my room during busy times. Because I don't want to pick up something else, not just from CF people. But we are so susceptible that anything else we can pick it up. So actually, I usually don't leave my room as much until it's late and there's not too many people around to run into the other problems. The exception to that is they do give me a 3-4 hour window between all my IV meds when I'm in the hospital to disappear to the college field house next door and exercise at the gym. Because they know if they don't give me a little window, I will lose my mind. But yeah, and a lot of CFers don't even have that. Because a lot of CFers, well, I'll be honest here. I'd say a full 50 to 60% of CF people really don't work out. And I'm not talking workout like you do your physical therapy when you're in the gym. I mean, when you're in the hospital inpatient. I mean, and even half the people there don't even do those inpatient workout sessions that'll help you get better, faster, and may gain a little extra back. But I'm talking when they leave. I mean, out of all the years I've been going to my care center, over 30 plus years, I've had one other person ever go over to that field house and work out with me. It's crazy. The ones of us who do work out incessantly and hard live better, longer per our strain or how bad our illness is. And CF, it does have very varying ranges. I knew guys when I was a kid that died 12 years old, 13 years old. They didn't really get to that age where they even got a discipline. I started heavily when I was 12 years old to really work out. But it's just strange that a lot of us don't. But I can see where the isolation does get lonely. It wears on you. It wears on me, and I've tried to live my life like a normal person as much as my CF has let me. And until the last couple of years, sure, I mean, I did decent at it, I would say. There are a lot of people still that do not realize I have cystic fibrosis. I've done exceptionally well and learned a lot about how to keep my body weight up and keep it looking less CFE. Incessant workouts. I knowing how to nourish this crappy little body and help my enzymes along. For any of you wondering, working out does help CF, especially lifting weights and stuff. Lifting heavy weights and pushing your body stimulates your bones to make themselves more dense. That heavy weightlifting all these years has made it so even at my age, and I am 45, for a CFer with a decently high amount of digestive issue, a digestive deficiency, I guess you'd say, my bones have very few issues. They found a couple of tiny, annoying, slightly softy spots in a few spots, but nothing they're worried about at all. Of course, I do take a supplemental calcium, but that weightlifting heavy weights has made my bones, my body adapt by pushing my bones more dense. That and doing stupid crap, breaking a lot of bones. I was a kid, made my body go, what the hell are you doing? Did a lot of stupid stuff. My parents, every missing hair, gray hair, every extra level of blood pressure, it's my fault. Not because of my CF so much, because of I was an insane child. Between being a horrible, really good graded, super heavy reading bookworm nerd, when I wasn't doing that stuff, I was out running in the woods, climbing trees, and sledding, hitting steel posts, and well, sledding, you name it. I broke lots of bones. I honestly, I would like, if anybody sees this, I would like anybody to see how you deal with that isolation. And I've really seen it get to people with CF. It's tough. Internet is not the same support system a lot of people have. Tons of patients, MS, cancer, you name it, can get together in groups. Even if we have a transplant later in life, we still have to be careful about what we're around. Because those meds there, a lot of people go, oh, when you get your transplant, if you get one, you'll just be better, right? I'm like, well, kinda. I get a transplant someday, and I'm not rushing there, trust me. I've had half the people I know that have had transplants are dead. So it isn't a fix-all. But if you get a transplant, it doesn't fix everything. What I am looking forward to if I do get a transplant someday is the time I put in. That's a friend of mine says that is the biggest release. Not just being able to breathe, but the big release of time. The amount of time, especially militant CFers, and I include myself as a militant CFer, I make my CF's life miserable. I beat the crap out of my CF. But to do so, especially at my age, it takes a lot of time. My chest therapy and breathing treatments this morning took about an hour and a half. My gym workouts are 1 to 2 hours long, sometimes a little more. Then I got my afternoon treatments. I usually spend maybe about an hour, hour and a quarter doing that, between a little PT and breathing treatments. Afternoon or early evening. Then my late treatments, which I still have to do yet tonight, really early now, getting a little off timing, consists of a few breathing treatments, and I usually do percussor at night. My lower and upper lobes both at night before I go to bed. All told, there's another hour, hour and a half. or hour and a quarter, I'd say. Let's say hour to 1 hour and a half. So you add all that up between gym workouts. I mean, it's a 5 to 7 hour day. Just keep taking care of my health. Besides, people don't realize how much it slows us down. You get up in the morning sometimes, you're feeling bad. You just don't feel like bounding out of bed. I've had to explain to many people, sometimes, even my wife at times, which she's learned, she really has picked up on this very well. But even every once in a while, she forgets. She'll be telling, oh, come on, let's go, let's move. Well, CF affects so many of our body systems. The lungs are the one that really gets us normally, but it affects our digestive system. It affects our joints. Not only do I have 45-year-old joints right now, but I have 45-year-old joints at 7 days a week in the gym, playing racquetball tournaments and lifting weights and treadmills and ellipticals for 7 days a week until about 8 months ago. Now I'm doing 6. But then I also have CF adding to the fun of my joints. So yeah, fun. And I know I've been fighting it, but I try not to take painkillers. So rough on your system. I've seen people denied for a transplant because they took a lot of painkillers over the years and it's damaged liver, kidneys, other stuff. So I'm doing my best to stay away from that. But no, militant CFers we put tons of time in. It's a tough thing. And I know some people just, I know a guy before and after transplant just refused to exercise. Said, well, it's not my thing and I just don't want to do it. Wow, really? We started out, and from what the doctor told us when we were younger, we were about the same level of CF. Let's say if you have a scale of 1 to 10 on CF, we are both at about a 7 to 7.5. We were almost exact. Difference was, I started working out incessantly at age 12. He did not. And right then, we both differentiated. Within about a year, we started differentiating big time. I mean, I worked at a gym for over 12 years, so kind of went out of my way to stay around. But we went opposite directions, and he didn't work out, and then he went downhill. He got a transplant, and then they told him, you need to do this, this, and this, and I ran into him a couple times, and we talked, and I just don't want to do it. I don't want to exercise. I hate it, and I won't do it. And he didn't take care of his new lungs, didn't do the exercises they said to strengthen them and help them grow with him or grow into him. And he didn't keep them clear enough in that early on, and he's dead. I know a couple of people did the same thing. They started out a couple of people made fun of me over the years for exercising. Didn't do it, got a transplant, did everything you're supposed to do with a transplant. I mean, even busted their butts. Did marathons, did all this crap for the first 6 months to a year and a quarter. And each of those 3 people died because when they stopped doing that stuff, their lungs collapsed they crashed within about 3 to 6 months between the 3 people. Crashed, and then another couple months after that, each of the 3 died. Exercise isn't everything, but it does help. They really try to give you a regimen to stick with, and these people hadn't built that up. Now, sorry, I know I wander, but like I said, these are live streams. I'm just throwing these out there. And if anybody does see these in the future, I don't go out advertising these very much. I don't even put the link to these on my main channel very much, on my exploring channel, of which I do. I am an avid urban explorer. My doctors, yes, the CF and the transplant team all know I do it, and they're fine with it. As long as I have the certain masks, they say, my 3M surgical mask, if the air is nasty, put those on. They're actually good with it. They are more worried about me being around other human types and having enough time to do my therapies properly. Back to the loneliness, though. I am downstairs in my office studio area right now, where I do most of my YouTube recording, my editing, and my videos for my exploring, you name it. But over here on this other side that you can't see is what kind of my man cave. But my man cave isn't a sports one. Sometimes we call it my sci-fi cave or my CF cave. I have all my CF stuff. I have my nebulizer machines, and in the other room is a fridge. It's got my meds in it. I got bins to hold my unrefrigerated nebulizer stuff. I got an inversion table over here that I do my PT on at night, inverted, and I do my own percussive therapy. You'll see I have an upper routine I'll probably put a card in here in case anybody ever sees this, so they can go check out or and see. Probably put it right up here, right above this section where I'm saying this. You can go check out, see my upper therapy I do in the mornings myself. And I've been doing my own therapy since I was like 14. I just taught myself suddenly and started doing it. Seemed to make sense. I'm my own best piece of therapy equipment. I haven't videoed my inverted night therapy yet. A lot of times I'm watching things that are a little copyrighted. I think I can, and I really need something to watch while I'm doing it. You get too in, you do it so much you hate it. That goes back to that time thing. Just, how much time do we waste on this? But I am down here in my basement. I've kind of been living here almost the last 3 days or so because my wife got sick, and now we're back to the loneliness. As a CF person, if you live with family, husband, wife, kids, how do you deal with it if they get a bad illness? Respiratory illness of some type, cold, flus, sinus infections, bronchitis, they're all respiratory infections. How do you deal with that? Well, my wife and I have Avant, the hand sanitizer that's used in our hospital care center. Here, we have bottles all over the house. Excuse me. A little itchy. They're telling me that in about 45 minutes, so I'm going to do those other breathing treatments to clear my chest again. But we have sanitizer and we also have masks. I have the thick ones I use for exploring in case I get into some nasty stuff. Very hard to breathe in. But I also have the paper ones or the yellow ones like we have in the hospital that they say will block the viruses and stuff. My wife's been wearing one incessantly around the house upstairs. I wear one if I go near her. I wash my hands and we both sanitize all the time. But the thing is, I can't sleep in the bed with her. Do you do that? I mean, for as far as I was told, Brian, who runs my care center floor, they call it rescue, respiratory specialty care unit. Him and my doctor say, no, do not. Because you're sleeping next to each other, you're breathing that, you touch, breathe it in, you're too close. It's, once again, a lonely illness. I am down here, sleeping on the couch. It's not a horrible couch, especially for a den couch. One thing about it is really nice and quiet down here. But, I mean, I'm sleeping down here because I can't sleep with my wife because of infection issues. I mean, God, that makes things lonely. The dog stays up with her. Seems like the cats love to dogpile me more if I'm down here. I even have to watch them because they can carry stuff to you if you touch, and touch your face. I mean, maybe to some of you other CFers out there, I sound maybe too OCD, but I am an older CFer now. And I am at a level, it's taken some of this semi-OCD-ish to get this old. So I don't have CF real heavy. I don't have a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. But I also do not have a 4 or 5 out of 10. I have right around a 7-ish, 7.5-ish to 10. And of course it's gotten worse the last few years. I am happy though. At age 12, they were telling me then I would not make it to 18, 19 years old. I remember at our care center as a child, they used to have people come in and talk to you about Make-A-Wish and stuff. I was like, nope, not doing that. I've always beat the average age of CF survival before it ever gets upped. Can I take pride in that? Not only am I 45, but I'm still pretty active at 45. I did have to stop working, but hey, that is what it is, and it was right time. I worked long enough, saved money, paid things off. That's why I'm doing the YouTube full time. I've always kind of done bits of it, and always been an urban explorer, but I need something to do, and something with time to do my treatments without keeping me from going nuts. I even go to the gym on off hours, as I've said in other videos. But see, here I am lonely. I'm down here, sleeping with my wife upstairs, or even sitting on the couch next to her watching TV upstairs. We have to stay separate. And I know it drives her nuts too. I mean, can you imagine that, being married to one of us or living with one of us and knowing that you are actually dangerous to us at times? How's that gotta feel to them to be dangerous to us? to know that, wow, if they did something wrong, they could really do major damage. Worst case, kill one of us. And some people, even some CF people, go, oh, you're overplaying things. No, if you're at a certain level, my illness last year, I was in the hospital for 22 plus days. They weren't sure the meds were going to work anymore. I was down to right around 20%. And the meds finally started to kick in. I lost about, what was it, 15.25 pounds in a matter of 3 days. All told, between my a little over 22-day hospital stay, plus the time I was sick here before I went, it was almost a 30-day illness. And it was horrendous. Sorry, slipped. So I had to make some changes. But how does that feel? My wife married somebody and she's up there alone now. I mean, how great is that for them too? It's a lonely illness for us. It's a lonely illness for family, loved ones, you name it. Children. I know some CFers that have children, and there are times they cannot go near their children. They bring home some horrendous stuff. A CF friend of mine, he actually was able to have children. He was able to younger, thankfully, but I guess they tried again later and they found out that the CF had stopped him then. He was able to younger, which is really good. His children got sick. Both of them picked up an illness. The one that got me this last time, called RSV. It is very rough. And they had it, and he could not go near them. He actually ended up staying in a hotel room for about 2.5 weeks. Because RSV is so horrible for us CFers. So can you imagine how lonely that was for him? I remember talking to him a little at the time. I'm mostly messaging, but can you imagine 2.5 weeks away from your wife and children because of this? And before he came back home, his wife went through and sanitized the house. I mean, right now, we don't even know my wife's illness. We've really done as much as possible. Even when I grab the fridge, open the fridge upstairs, then I grab the sanitizer, wipe off, or I soap up and wash my hands. If I touch anything I think she's touched, I'm doing it. I pet the animals, I'm doing it. But we don't know. Incubation period. Now she's been ill for a few days. We'll know in another 2 to 10 days whether or not I'm going to get it or not. I'm hoping not, because boy, I've been out of the hospital a while now, and I do not want to go back. But that is why I believe this is a lonely, lonely illness. Lonely for us, and lonely for our family and loved ones. It's stupid on a gorgeous day like today was for this area that I couldn't spend time with my wife close up. Yeah, it kind of gets annoying. You feel like a soldier with PTSD, and I'm not belittling the soldiers before anybody gets goofy on me. As a CF person, you live long enough, and somebody coughs, sneezes, sniffles anywhere near you, and you jump, and you're looking at him, you're watching him like a hawk, going, ooh, is that just something irritating them, or an allergy? Or they're sick, or what? You might have to get the heck away from them. It's annoying trying to keep track of that. Watch everybody. Which, sounding like a transplant, doesn't fix, really. Not really. Wow. It's a lot of work. It's really kind of started hitting me how much work and how I finally got old enough and stuff that I was pushing the envelope a little too far. The 20-hour days lasted for 20 plus years pretty well. But as for lonely illness, also it takes so it can take your job. I had a 25 plus year career. I finally got to a place in my career working at a great shop as assistant manager for a great boss. A shop that was going somewhere where it was fast paced. I was going to learn a lot. He has an amazing crew. We had good customer base. I was making money doing what a 25-year career had gotten me to. Actually, I was making damn good money, which really drives me nuts. And then that illness has got me. The last one was so bad, they said, that's it, you're done. Pretty much every department in the hospital ganged up and said, that's it. So that's a type of loneliness. where I would like to be at work with people. They have the interaction, and we don't get that either. I did for a lot of years. I was lucky. The last job I had, I couldn't wear masks if I wanted to. I couldn't do the job properly. Also, I was around too many people, probably. Problem is, it was a culmination of a good career, but I was around people. See, I mean, you can't be around as many people. You got to watch it. Oh, hey, Chihuahua. But, I don't know. If anybody sees this, leave any comments below. Let me know. If you like my meanderings on our illness, or you are a family member, want to know anything about illness, leave comments, ask me questions. I am a extremely honest person. In fact, people told me I'm too honest at times. I will answer any question. I will answer it honestly, which the doctors love, because they know if they ask me something, I'm going to tell them. Good or bad. I've had some fights with some doctors as I don't think they're doing the right thing. But it is a, I don't know. I just keep coming back to how lonely this illness is. And the older I've gotten, the more lonely it's gotten. Because as I've had to spend more time, this is kind of my third point of isolated loneliness for this illness. The sicker I've gotten, the older I've gotten, the progressive of the illness. As you get older, it's a little harder for you to do some things anyway, but it's taken more time, more therapy time, more therapies, and I can't even go out with my friends very much. I don't have a lot of friends left. But the ones that are still around here, I can't do much with, because when they're free, I'm doing therapies. Or the things they want to do, hey, let's go out in this big group. I was like, Especially not this year. I'm not sure about your area, but in the 3 or 4 states around me, they had 25 to 35 or 25 to 40 year record highs of major illnesses, flus, horrible respiratory stuff, everything going around. So I really wasn't going to go hang out in big crowds this winter. That is another level of the isolation we have to go through. It's really damned annoying. I don't know. It's just sometimes there are days where you're just like, boy, is that really even worth it? And not that I'm going anywhere or giving up the ghost, but just you start looking at the amount of time you spend doing this just to stay alive, and then how little life you get to live in between treatments, therapies, hospital stays, pain. Like right now, my left side, my lower left is really killing me. That's my worst area. It's a little bit cranky. I don't know. It kind of makes you wonder. I am getting up there. Boy, my body, it just ticks me up. All this working out has done me one thing. My body, for my age, of course, I got aches, pains, and joint issues, and torn up rotator from racquetball tournaments, and racquetball tournaments, which I played till I was at 50%, and then I just couldn't compete anymore. And I tore up my shoulder so bad. And I would have to do surgery, and they didn't want to give me surgery because that's too much downtime. Hard to do therapies, a bunch of other stuff. Higher risk of infection, you name it. But I kind of lost my train of thought there, too. It is 1:30 in the morning, and I still have another live stream to do on one of my other channels yet. Oh, I got to gear up for that one. And I got a live stream every Tuesday on my main channel, my exploring channel. It's like, in case anybody does see this, they're curious, I have an exploring channel called Exploring with CF. I do urban explorations. Check it out if you like. But no, it's you gotta start to kind of the time you put in. You get older and it gets a little rougher to do, and you get bored with it. Honestly, I've done treadmills, I've done ellipticals, I've done stair climbers, I've done cross trainers. I hate the cardio anymore. I just freaking hate it. The weights are the one thing I still enjoy. I can change it up, do it at my level. I can still enjoy the weights. Sure, not as much. My joints are too torn up from the illness, from age, from all the stuff I've done, and from Cipro, which they now are never going to give me again, because the last couple times have torn me up so bad, it never has healed across all my joints. It's taken me about 10, 11 months to get them back to some semblance of decency. So we've already had a talk, no more Cipro. I don't know, there's too many of those interactions too. It's kind of a, I don't know. It is kind of annoying. Thankfully, there's something like this or chats and everything else. But until then, I'm going to get off here and go get ready for my next channel and do some other things over there. And then get ready to do my breathing treatments and percussor yet. Hopefully I can get Junior here to stop aching and sleep my happy butt on the couch for at least another couple nights. And lastly, my wife, see, this is why you can't be near him. She is still hacking pretty bad. She has a cough like a low-grade CFer right now. So can you imagine what that would do to one of us? Other CF people, family, friends of CFers, even medical people. If you have any questions and you do happen to see this, I don't know if I'm going to start promoting this channel more or not. I might start putting in ends of my exploring channel. If you have any questions of any type, any statements, any little helps, let me know. Leave a comment below. If you want to hear more, like, subscribe, you know, all the fun YouTube sayings. You know, I can't say I'll always agree or disagree with you, but at least you with me, whether you like me or dislike me, you'll know where I stand on stuff and you won't have any guesses. But for everybody out there, do whatever you can do with your lungs and then do a slightly bit more if you can. Actually, not if you can, just do a little bit more. If you can do 1.01 miles on the treadmill in 15 minutes, try for 1.02 miles. Just an extra little puff. See what you can do. Use it while you got it. Try to slow down the decay. Keep fighting, everybody. Keep breathing. This is Kylie from CysticFibrosisPurplePeopleEater. And stay healthy, everybody. Keep breathing. And I am out of here.